I come before you today to humble myself and ask for help. I've come to you with the question, how do we talk to men in 2021? Because I've tried everything and they still don't get it. So at the beginning of this year, I made a decision, and my decision was to stop talking to men and looking for someone to date. And the reason I decided that was I was just sick of the shit. The only conversations men seemed to want to have with us were sexual conversations, and I was running out of ways to tell them to f off. So I made that decision to not converse in a romantic way with any men. And I lasted 6 months before I got really bored and felt like I needed some attention and joined dating sites again. And since then, I've gone back to my first decision of not wanting to speak to men again. I wonder what could have happened. And if you're wondering too, let me explain. The saddest thing though is I don't even have to be on dating sites to get the kind of messages that I want to talk about today. It happens on Facebook, it happens on Instagram, I've had emails before. It's like a constant barrage of slimy, creepy, disgusting messages, and I've had enough of it. The reason I want to know the answer to the question how to talk to men in 2021 is because no matter what I do, no matter what I say, no matter how I treat these men, they don't seem to get it. They don't. Something up here, it's incomputed. Even when I say things like, whoa, don't send me things like that, like, that kind of gets lost in translation and they end up thinking that I'm either playing like coy, or for instance, I get a lot of messages saying like, oh, you're obviously very boring then. Why would me not wanting to see a stranger's penis or have a stranger tell me they want to lick my coochie meow meow make me boring? These kinds of men want me to reply to their message in a certain way. But that certain way that they want me to reply, they would also judge another woman for doing that and call her a slag. Like, men, you can't have it both ways. You either like a dirty bitch or you don't like a dirty bitch. Can't have it both ways. I have, this isn't a brag at all, because I'm sure every woman gets it, whether it's in a large amount or a small amount, but I get a fair amount of really dirty, horrible messages on social media, and I used to ignore them. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like, oh, you are so pretty, I'd like to blah blah blah, just insert something there, and 10 being, when you're gonna let me come over and f you from behind. If it was on a scale of like further towards the 1, I'd reply with something like, oh, thank you, ha ha ha, but I'm not interested in blah 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 blah. Or if it was on a higher scale, I would ignore it and delete it. But lately, I'm so sick of it, do you know what I mean? It's like, there's only so much I can take, or any woman can take, of men. I can't even say people, because it is just men. Of men on social media, like, being in my DMs, saying the most disgusting, like, violating, degrading. If you're into that, you're into that, but like, it's only acceptable when you have communicated to each other that you want to do that. It's not cool to just slide in someone's DMs and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna touch myself to you tonight. I'm touching it right now. Do you want to see? Like, what do you want us to do? Do you want us to reply and be like, oh yes daddy, oh show me that big cock? Because that's not what I'm gonna do. I was gonna say I don't know who needs to hear this, but I do. Men, Women don't want to see pictures of your penis. And I think I make it pretty clear on my Instagram. I put on my story quite a lot, like things people send us, and I'll state like, this isn't acceptable, I don't want to see this. And that's a way of me, without being like aggressively putting all over my bio and stuff, don't send me pictures of your penis. Like, I shouldn't have to make it clear in the first place. But you all be playing. So, people who followed me for years, I don't know if 2021 has got its own virus going around. Like, 2020 was the year of COVID. Maybe 2021 is the year of men's minds just turning to mush and them doing the most dumb shit. Because I've got people who used to be respectful to me online, who have followed me for a really long time and know fine well I don't accept that kind of behaviour, coming and sending me messages and voice notes and being like, bitch, let me hit that real hard, from behind, upside down, from the side, with my big 10-inch, and I'll be like, excuse me, sir, we don't accept that here. Oh, are you offended? Oh God, have I offended your sensitive sensibilities? God, you're so boring. Ugh, where's your sense of adventure? My sense of adventure is up Simonside Hills. You know, where normal adventures would take place, up a mountain or in a forest. My sense of adventure isn't in the DMs on Instagram. Thank you. One thing that pisses me off so much is, like, when somebody will send me a message and they'll be like, you look naughty, you look cheeky, you look like trouble. That's my least favourite. You look like trouble. And I'll literally say to them, I'll be like, nope, got the wrong person. I ain't trouble. It's not me. The furthest from trouble. I'm the least interesting, naughty, troublesome, cheeky person you'll ever meet. And straight away, they're like, oh, obviously fucking boring then. It's no wonder you're single. No wonder I'm single. I've chose to be single. I chose this because of people like you. Because of people like you who can't respect my space and other women's space. Like, I can probably count on my hands how many men I know who haven't been creepy to me. I should have handfuls of men who haven't been creepy to us in some way or form or shape or whatever. Like, it shouldn't be difficult for me to, like, put all the men I know in a room together and be like, I should be able to go, you, all of yous, all the ones at the back, all the ones that, yous haven't been creepy, it's just those three in the middle. It shouldn't be. The three in the middle shouldn't just be the ones who haven't been creepy, like. And this video is basically just me ranting, but, like, I've had enough of it. It's absolutely crazy that in, like, the last, like, 5 years we've had so many movements come out, like the Me Too movement and stuff like that, about how women should be treated better. Treated. Charlotte's gonna kill me. Treated better by men in the workplace, in, like, general, just, like, there's a lot of awareness now of men being creepy and therefore threatening to women, like making women feel unsafe because of the way they are just obsessed with the sexual side of a female. But, like, it's getting worse. How is it getting worse? The amount of times I've been called fat and ugly because I won't enter into a sexual conversation with a stranger is mind-blowing. Like, oh, I'm sorry I'm fat and ugly, but I was so fat and ugly that you managed to get a boner and think you would, like, want to send us a message being all sexual. Do you know what it is, right? I have an OnlyFans account and I have, like, a good amount of subscribers, and each and every single one of them is respectful to me. They don't send me dirty, disgusting messages. I've maybe had one or two send us a picture of their dick, and straight away they've apologised, and then I've blocked them. But on Instagram, it's almost as if men think women are fair game online. There is only one way I will enter in to a sexual messaging conversation, and that's if me and that person have agreed that that's what we want to do. I do not ever go into my Instagram message requests and see a man saying, oh, those are so big, I want to stick my between them and come all over them, and think, oh my god, that's exactly what I want, especially from a guy with 2 followers and no profile picture. That doesn't get me hot under the collar. That makes my vagina dry up, shrivel up inside of itself, and sew up the outside. That's what those messages do. Like, they make me want to chop my titties off so that no man like you could ever look at them ever again. And that's extreme, but that's the kind of revulsion that those messages make women feel. Like, nobody, man or woman, is gonna look at a message like that and like be like, oh my god, that's getting the juices flowing. The juices have gone. There's no more juice because of you and those disgusting messages. Like, I've seen so many of them. I'll be lucky if I ever have juices flowing ever again. It's really sad because, in a way, I feel like a woman back in, like, I don't know, 1850s, and you're looking out your window into the great city and you see a lot of change, and like, my god, this is a modern world. This is a modern world we are living in with great changes. And then as soon as you're in the picture that you've seen of the city, you realise it's all exactly just as awful as it was before. That's how I feel with men's attitudes to women. Like, you look on the outside and you're like, you see all these great things that men are posting online and on, like, making videos on TikTok being so respectful, and they're posting like things on Facebook like in defense of women, but then like behind the scenes they're the ones in your inbox calling you fat and ugly because you won't give them the messages they need to jerk off. If I'm not providing these men with what they need for their sexual pleasure, they're reverting straight back to the sexist, misogynist behaviour that was always there. Nothing's changing. It might be changing on the outside, but it's definitely not changing on the inside. How much more obvious do women need to be? Well, not even just women, I suppose it's anybody. How much more obvious do we need to be that we don't want this kind of behaviour? And yeah, there is the free speech thing, but like, that's not free speech. Some of it's really threatening. Some of it's like, it's not just uncomfortable, some of it makes you feel disgusting. Like, and I mean truly disgusting. Like, some of this stuff is so horrible, it's made me like feel really upset. And I know this is silly. Is it silly? No, it's not silly. When I get sent a dick pic and I don't know what it is and I open that and it's from some horrible, dirty, disgusting stranger, it makes me upset. It makes me upset to realise that people, no matter what, men are not going to respect me enough to not send me a picture of their small, of their horrible, ugly penis. Let's just be real about it. I don't know what we could, as a society, do more of to make men realise that that's not a way to behave. I feel like everything is being done on the woman's side. We're taking back our power, we're standing up for our rights, we're standing up for what we believe in, we're setting boundaries, but men like these men that I'm talking about just don't want to get it. they don't mind a bit of performative activism and posting nice things online, but then, like, for instance, I knew a guy, right? I knew a guy, he was my boss at work, and he would come to me and be like, this person I was out with last night came to me and they were like, do you know she's got her OnlyFans account? And he'd turn around and be like, and I said to them, what's that got to do with you? What a woman does with her own body? And I'd be like, well, thank God I've got somebody on my side. There was another time he came to us and he was like, that woman over there's just complained that your tits are out. And I was wearing a shirt, like a white shirt, and he was like, and I told him, well, if you're not happy with it, get out of the restaurant. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like, honestly, it made us feel a lot better, only to find out that that was all lies, and he was posting derogatory things about OnlyFans models and women posting pictures of their bodies online. He was doing the performative activism to my face and then showing everybody else his true colours, and that's just a perfect example of utter disgusting scum. So now when I open my Instagram messages and I go into the message request and I see a disgusting message, instead of just deleting it, I will reply to it and I'll call people out on their behaviour, because I think, why should you come into my space? Why should you come into my space and tarnish it with something so horrible? Why should you come into a space that I've created and ruin it and make it feel dirty? So I'll call them out on the behaviour. And I've had one or two apologise, which is fine, but at the end of the day, you're still... me going, do not put this on my space, don't send me these messages, it's disgusting, you should be ashamed of yourself, and them going, okay, sorry, I didn't realise. That doesn't take away their initial intent, because they've probably, the day later, done it to somebody else. And the ones who don't reply and apologise will just come back with insults, or they will not take me telling them to stop being disgusting as an answer, and they'll continue to send things that they want to do to us, things that they're doing to themselves while looking at my pictures, and I'm going, stop it now, you're being a fucking creep, you're being a pervert, and they just keep going and keep going. Okay, so very quickly, I got done filming this video, and I went out, and lo and behold, the exact scenario that I just explained literally happened to us. Some guy who had previously messaged us, nothing underwater or anything, was just suddenly like, my dick is sitting here waiting for you, and I was like, well, it'll be waiting a very long time because I don't want it. And I basically said like, fuck off. And then he was like, give me encouragement, because he wanted to off to my pictures, and nothing I said until I told him his messages were going to go in this video caused him to apologise. So the only thing that made him think twice about his decision to say certain things to a complete stranger on the internet was to find out that other people were going to read his messages. If you're not comfortable with other people reading what you've said, just don't say it. Simple as that. And people will say to us, well, just block them. Well, don't engage with it. Don't accept their messages. You've got to accept that message to talk to them. Yes, I know, but why should I not tell them that they are in the wrong for doing that? Why should I not call them out on their behaviour? Why should I have to see a message that somebody sent me saying some gross, disgusting, degrading things they want to do to me? And why should I not reply to that and tell them to f*** off? Why should I have to just gloss over it and ignore it? Why is it my fault for encouraging it? Why? Why shouldn't I reply to them and tell them what I think of them for doing that to me, for upsetting me and ruining part of my day? Because when I'll say to these people, I'm doing this because I'm sick of getting the messages and I don't think they should be allowed to get away with it, they'll still just be like, and it's men, by the way, it's not women. The women are very supportive, and I really thank all my female followers, especially a handful of them who are always there to just step up and be like, I'm fucking ready, let's go. But the men will be like, oh, but you shouldn't engage, you're just encouraging them. They didn't need any encouragement from me in the first place to send the original message. So me coming out and being like, leave me alone, you're a disgusting fucking creep, get the fuck out of my inbox, leave me alone, that is not encouraging them, that's replying to them, and I'm allowed to do that. The answer to the question, how do you talk to men in 2021, I don't think it can be answered, because I've tried every single way of talking to them. I've tried being polite, I've tried ignoring them, they just send more messages, I've tried being rude, I've tried being aggressive, I've tried educating them, and nothing works, because those type of men do not give a fuck. Like, they'll see somebody online and assume that they're just there for their pleasure, and that's gross. It just makes us think, like, if they were out and about, would they do the same thing? And do you know what it is? The saddest part about it is, yes, they would, and they would do worse, because they would put their hands on the women. They wouldn't just tell them what they wanted to do, they'd put their hands on them. Like, I've never met a woman who hasn't been out before on a night out minding their own business and either had a man touch them somewhere on their body or try to insert themselves into that woman, and that sounds really awful, but it's happened to me, it's happened to people I know, it's happened to members of my family. Like, if you're a woman who's not been sexually assaulted on a night out by a complete stranger, please get in touch, because I'd like to know what it's like to live in heaven. I didn't want this to be an angry video, I just wanted this to be like a genuine, like, what are women supposed to do now? Like, we've exhausted every avenue and nothing helps at all. And do you know, apart from Instagram, one of the most disgusting places on the internet for things like this is Plenty of Fish. And trust me, I've only been on there when I'm super desperate and lonely, and it's only ever been for a little while. Like, I'll admit to being on Tinder, but I don't like admitting to being on Plenty of Fish. And you know what? I'm not saying that there is such a thing as ugly and pretty, and I'm not saying that there are leagues that people should stay in, and I'm not saying that I'm better than I'm not saying that I'm better than a lot of people, but I get some gross ass messages of some gross ass men, and I look at them and I just think, I look at them with the blurry webcam pictures and I just think, how have you got the nerve to send that message containing those descriptive words in to me? And you think, me? And you think I'm gonna reply and encourage you and participate? Me? Participate with you? Honestly, I don't know how to end this video. I want to leave this video with a message, but like, what message? Stop sending weird sexual messages and pictures of your penis. That's the whole message. Stop it now. Don't do it. This video probably could have been a lot better, and I might refilm this or make a part 2 of it with more examples of horrible behaviour and things we could do as women. No, that. Women shouldn't have to do things to combat this behaviour, because we're not the ones doing the behaviour. I mean, yeah, sure, there are women out there who act this way, but it's not on a scale of what the men do. Like, I'm not saying that men don't get gross messages, because I've been out with some men who are like, oh, I'm so glad you're not like the other women on that side who just straight away send us a picture of their pussy and want to hook up. Like, that's fucking gross as well. Man or woman, you shouldn't be sending pictures of your genitals to people without their permission. Like, would you walk past somebody in the street and like think, oh, they're attractive, and just pull your pants down and be like, oh look, that's me fanny, can you see it? It's a bit wet there. It's it's good. Like, a man, like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna walk down the street and see a pretty girl and just stand and go, look at this, and wiggle it around and hope she looks at it, squeeze the bait a bit so it makes the tip look bigger? Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to see it. And if I wanted to see it, I'd ask. If anybody with a penis who follows my Instagram sees this, I just want you to know that I don't want to see your penis. I mean, I just hate that. Sorry. God, I guess that's all for this video, really. If you've liked this video, give it a like. If you want to subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. We just reached 200 subscribers, which I didn't think was ever going to happen. And I know that's a very small number, but we do appreciate every single one of the Huns who subscribed. Why don't you leave your stories below about how disrespectful people have been online. Keep your genitals in your pants, and I'll see you next time. Bye!